Glory be to God, Mighty God Ministries, Health and Wellness, episode 13. This is another dinner that I'll do. Very easy. You need a pan. You could cook it any way you want to, but essentially you're just going to need a pan. And again, this is more my dinner. A lot of times for dinner, I like to eat something that is high in protein, and that's going to give me, fulfill me. So a lot of times I'm going to eat something with a lot of meat in it or fish. And then I'm going to add something on top of that. And then depending on the day, again, I might do a whole nother, frying pan of vegetables. I might do it light. I might do something specific. This is turkey. This is Good and Gather turkey, and this is that zero fat. Again, because I could not eat fat. Like I had a very minimum, so it's 99%, so it's 1.5 grams of fat. So it's a very minimum amount of fat. Now, obviously, if you want it to taste better and you want more flavor in it, you're going to get, the other one, which is, I don't know if it's 93% or 92 is what it is. But again, this is just a quick, easy meal. As long as you, again, take it out. And I've done this frozen. You can do it frozen. But obviously, that's a little bit harder. So again, you're just going to plop that down in the pan. Very easy. Throw your trash in the tray. In the trash can. And then essentially, you're done. It is that easy. And since the dishwasher is on clean, I'm not going to touch it. And then what I normally will do is I will use a spoon or a spatula, or if there's not one, it looks like they're all in the dishwasher, that's fine. I'll use one of these, because essentially what I like to do is I like to go ahead and smash it down. The other thing that I'm going to do, since I already have the knife, if it's ground like this, obviously it cooks a different way. So I like to, it's ground one way, so the length of it goes lengthwise like this. So I actually take a knife, and I don't do this all the time, but I notice it makes it a little bit easier to cook up. So I'll take a knife and just go like this. Just do a couple little slices that way. Again, the meat's already done vertically, but it just makes it a little bit easier. So I'll do that. You don't have to, but you can. I never did it in the beginning, but I find out sometimes that it works a little bit better, breaks it up a little bit more. And then again, I'm just going to smash this down. And it's not going to look good, obviously. It looks like you're eating like mush. But I smash this down. And then essentially, after you smash this down, what ends up happening is you're going to cook that up. And it's very easy. What you're going to do is you can put salt and pepper on it if you want to do salt and pepper. If you don't want to do salt and pepper, you don't have to. I know that I like salt and pepper, but I've done it plain. I've done it plain, and plain works fine too if you want to do that. So again, I'm going to do a little salt and pepper on this. And then most likely, I'm also going to do sweet potato with this. Because again, I almost eat sweet potatoes almost every night. If I was not going to put the onions I already have on it, then I would normally do vegetables, whether it's onions, a whole onion, and some other stuff cut up. But since I'm doing it this way, I'm not going to do that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to just cook it up as is. And again, you can put olive oil in this pan or whatever else you want to, but I don't, this turkey, I'm just going to put this on and get this started, because it does take a little bit to cook, not long. And again, it doesn't take very long because it's very minimal fat. So the next thing I'm going to do, you've seen this a gazillion times probably, is I'm going to get my sweet potato while that's going, and then we get that cooking up. And again, it's the same concept, pretty basic. You're going to cut your sweet potato up. You're going to, boil it in the pan of hot water, and you're pretty much done with that. Very basic. Again, everything I do is basic. But because it's basic, it's easy and quick. And then the other thing what I'm going to do is, which this is a treat, I don't always do this. Earlier I made my blueberry jam. And the reason why, like I said, I try to cut the sugar out because there's certain things I want to eat that have sugar in them. So I want to be able to do that. So and I know if I do too much, then you get to that point where like you're eating way too much sugar and it's not good for you. And you'll know because you'll have that sugar crash. You can't sleep good. There's all kinds of different things that sugar does to you. Again, in moderation, you're fine. But what will happen is you'll notice a difference if you cut back on it. If you cut sugar out completely, which I did for a little bit, you'll notice huge differences. But again, realistically, can you do that? No, it's not very easy. It's very hard to cut sugar out because you fill it with something else. And a lot of times the other things that you fill it with, those might not even be that great for you. So that can happen too. So what we're gonna do, put that in there. Get the sweet potato on, my turkey's going, so we're good there. Put my water in the pot, make it nice and easy. And then I'm gonna start that up. And then again, the key is you know me, I like to clean up as I go. I'm gonna put it back on cold so no one burns themselves, and we'll go to use it next time. And then I'm gonna put this on that power boil setting, the super high setting, so it's gonna be on high blast. So we're gonna do that, that's done. So get my pot holder out, get ready. And my turkey is probably going pretty decent here. So I'm just gonna check it. Let's see. Yeah, it's cooking up, it's going. So I'm gonna leave it a little bit longer and then flip it. And again, if I'm right in front of the stove right there, I'm gonna keep an eye on it. I'll turn on higher heat. But if you're walking away to do something, then you don't want to put on high heat, because once you do that, what's gonna happen is you're going to a chance of burning it or overcooking it. I'm gonna get my plate set up, my sweet potato. I'm gonna need a fork. I'm probably gonna do 2 forks, and I'm gonna need a spoon. Is what I'm gonna need for this. So I'm gonna get this ready. And then the next thing I'm gonna do is grab my water. Again, I like to prep everything and have it ready to go so that while that's cooking, I'm not wasting my time. And again, you wanna drink water with every meal. It's crucial to drink water. Stay hydrated, because like I said, a lot of times you might think you're hungry, your body thinks you're hungry, and you didn't drink water, you didn't drink enough water. The other thing that's very exciting about this meal, which I really enjoy, is and I'm going to try to be careful here so I don't get this on the shirt. And if you cook this, again, you're supposed to cook this to 165, but you want to be careful, because if you cook this too much, and I've done that before, if you cook this way too much, what ends up happening is you overcook it, and it just becomes like what do they say, shoe leather. So you want to be careful with that. I mean, obviously, turkey, depending on how you make it, turkey can be good or it can be dry, So I always add something to it, just because, I'm not a huge fan of like plain turkey unless it's an actual turkey cooked and it's got the juices and all that. But what I'm going to show you is, this is a little bit cheating. And when I learn how to make these, I might do it. But these are those Cleveland Kitchen red pickled onions, and I love these things. Like, these are delicious. But again, they're good also because there's sugar in them. So I don't know if it's 5 grams of sugar or what's in these, but I do really enjoy this. So if I'm gonna eat my turkey, a lot of times I'll put those on top. I will do like just a regular onion, like I have a whole pack over here. Well, I'll cut an onion up myself, but it's just not, I don't know how to do the whole pickle process and all that kind of crazy stuff. So what I will do is I'll just do it this way. And then what ends up happening is, once this is cooked up, I'll throw this on the plate, put my pickled onions on there, and it's gonna be delicious. It is gonna be delicious. And that's getting close to done, actually. It's still got a little pink in it, so I'm gonna push it down. And you do gotta watch out, but keep going. Sweet potatoes on high. Again, get my cinnamon out because I know I'm going to eat it. And I can do 1 or 2 different things. A lot of times I'll put the turkey on my plate and then I'll put this juice on it afterwards, in the onions afterwards, or you can put it down ahead of time and you can mix it in. So right now, since I have the time, again, I normally wouldn't do that, but just to show you, these are delicious. You talk about, these are so good. And I don't know, I'm assuming they cut them up, and I don't know how you pickle, but they're delicious. And I'm going to use my spoon because, again, the serving size on this is 1 ounce. So if you look right there, 1 ounce is not even a tablespoon. So you got to be careful with these two, because I could eat the whole container of this, no doubt, whole container. So I'm going to put 2 tablespoons to start, and I know I want 2 servings of this for sure, because like I said, I like this. So I'm going to take 2 right there, and I might take a little bit of extra juice too, and out of the container, just like that. I'll put a couple things of the juice right there. That's the best part, the juice when that goes in there. And then I'm done with this. I'm gonna close this up, put this back in the fridge, and then I'll eat this with something else or on something else. So that's a cool thing right there. And I'll do that, and essentially I am done. I'm ready to eat this once that turkey comes off. Obviously I got my sweet potato. I'm gonna go ahead and eat that. So the turkey, I can see it's already starting to You can see it's smoking up a little bit, heating up a little bit over here. So I'm gonna flip these and flip those. And we're good to go. And again, I'm just gonna keep rolling with this. Move it around. Let it cook up. Because again, turkey, there's certain pieces too, the way you push it down. It can actually, you know, you can have a piece that's cooked up and cooked more, and then another piece that's like, you know, raw, essentially. So you do got to keep that in mind. So I just sit here and I go like this, and I cut up the chunks and I let it go. And again, if you like yours more done, you can crisp it up and do that. If you don't, that's okay too. But I'm basically ready to go. So we'll wait here. Let's see what we got. And the key is just keep flipping it, keep going. There's some other variations with this. Again, any type of meat you have, normally if you put any type of meat with vegetables, then you're doing good, because that's a crucial thing. And again, just taking the time, even though it takes time, take the time to make the meals. And then watch what you're putting on them. Again, anything like, you know, salt's good, but if you put, you know, a gazillion pounds of salt on it, then, you know, that's not going to be good for you. So again, it's just moderation. And this is done. Some of the pieces are probably a little bit overdone, but I'm happy with it, and it's good enough for me. So what I'll do is, you can start seeing, because the liquid juice will come out, and that's good enough. So you can see right there, again, very basic meal here. Nothing, there's nothing crazy here. There's no techniques you really need to know. Just very basic. So again, we're gonna do this. We're gonna put these down. We're gonna go like this, and then, like I said, if I put the pickled onions down first, then you have to be a little bit careful, because you don't want to splash. That piece is a little bit pink. It's not a tiny bit, so I'm just gonna eat it. But you know, everything else is cooked up perfect. Normally, if I have nothing on there, I just take the pan and I just pop it in there. And again, I want to make the cleanup easy. So for cleanup, to make that easy, I'm just going to go like this. I'm going to pop that in there, do that, and then I am done. My cleanup is done. Once we unload the dishwasher, I'll throw that in there, and we're good to go. I'm going to keep this just in case I do shells, because again, I like to have dessert, and I made that blueberry jam today, so I'm gonna probably eat it for sure. I'm gonna eat 1 or 2 shells and put that on there. But you know, calorie content, you have 120 calories per serving in that package, which is a pound of meat. That's huge. You eat this whole plate. Again, look at it. You are going to be filled up. Like, you're gonna be filled up, because that's a huge plate. And that's, you know, only 480 calories, right? You have 480 calories. And then I think, I don't know, is it 26 grams of protein? Yeah, 26 grams of protein. So, you know, you're talking, that's 100, there's 100, 104 grams of protein, give or take. That's, again, it's a huge amount. So what you're gonna do is, you're gonna be probably covered for almost your whole day. And depending on what you're eating, you might even be over, you know. And I use a fork and a spoon, because I might start out like this, and then I'll use my spoon to get those juices in, but okay. It is so delicious. Like, it's good and it's healthy. And the red pickled onions, they have sugar on them. So if you were to eat this turkey plain, because it's 0-fat turkey, it's phenomenal for you. But it's gonna taste, it's not, you know, it's obviously not the best, but you add those red pickled onions, you add a couple things of that, and it is delicious. And you can eat this, you know, essentially all the time. And I do. I'll eat this a couple times a week. And when you think about that, again, it's what is it, 480 calories, and then the calories, the red pickled onions, you might be at like 500-600 calories. My cereal was 400, so I might be 1,000 calories. I have another 1,000 calories to go. And if you had lunch, you can do, you know, that you would include that in there. But that's again, healthy, good for you. So this is pretty much it. I do eat this quite a bit. It's good and healthy for you. But the most important thing of the channel is to glorify God. So click the description, read the salvation prayer. If you're not sure, if you don't know anything about it, just go ahead and read it out loud. And you're accepting Jesus in your heart. It is the best thing you will ever do. I promise you, it's the best thing, and things will start changing. God bless you. Take it easy.